Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a little vlog with me, TheLonesomeRavidor. Today we talk about a little important topic for you guys who want to start a brand new YouTube channel on YouTube, no surprise. Today I basically want to show you guys a couple of little hints and tricks, if that makes sense. That weren't even hints and tricks, just something like tips for you guys, which I've kind of learned and developed over as I've developed my skills throughout being on YouTube altogether. These are kind of a few things which I've kind of learned to love and learned to hate and stuff like that, and learned to just sort of accept in YouTube, the YouTube world. Which helped my YouTube channel to reach the point it has today. I'm sorry if I keep stop talking. It's been a while since I've done any commentary. But yeah, so I'm not obviously trying to say oh look at me, I'm so high and mighty. I can say I'm in such a high position that I can tell you exactly how to do it. Because I'm not. I'm far from being in a very high position on YouTube. I'm just simply at a good point in which I can tell you guys basically how to help you guys get to that first 100 subscriber milestone. Because it's such a difficult milestone to hit. It's kind of a helpful thing to sort of have some tips to sort of help you get along. Anyway, so number one would be definitely that you need to learn to accept and love, in a sense, dislikes. Now, this is obviously a very hard thing to do, because obviously a dislike is someone physically saying that they dislike your video, that literally say, I do not like this video. And obviously that's a very hard thing to say, especially if you're taking a lot of time to prepare a video and make the video all together. And having someone say that about your video is a heartbreaking thing. I mean, you sort of do take it very personally all the time. And I remember when I got my first ones myself, I actually took that quite it wasn't massively personally, but I was quite shocked by actually getting one. And yeah, it was a huge thing, and I was like, oh shit, I must have clearly done something wrong. But basically, you just need to learn that these dislikes, they could be for a million and one different reasons. Maybe that person was in a bad mood that one time they watched that video. Maybe they simply just didn't like your video. Maybe your video actually did have something wrong with it. Maybe there was actually some kind of glitch in the video. Maybe they just didn't bother to say, they just simply disliked the video. Maybe your video actually was misled, wrongly labeled would probably be the better point, because I was thinking of a different way to put it, because obviously some people put big titties and the video will be about a man just stood there talking about fedoras, I don't know, something like that. And that's sort of that's another reason, which is sometimes videos get dislikes and stuff like that. There's a million and one reasons to why videos will get dislikes, and you just kind of have to learn to accept just how the kind of thing will come across, how you just sort of have to, I don't know, although dislikes obviously look very bad to the public. I'm sorry if I keep stopping, by the way. I'm sort of pondering at the same time. This is entirely not scripted at all. But no, I mean, you sort of have to learn that these kind of things do look bad to the public, but you need to learn they are very much learning lessons through these dislikes, rather than just punishments, saying you shouldn't do this anymore. Arrgh! You should sort of be okay, I should really kind of practice something else instead. Which you sort of just nod away and yes, I like that. I'm gonna now start doing this. And yeah, so you can't really win every war. But anyway, so let's move on to my second tip. So tip number 2 would definitely be do not spam. I'm talking do not spam onto everyone's channel, okay? Because remember, if you comment on a YouTuber's channel, so for example, if you comment on PewDiePie's thing, and prior to that, you've commented on Markiplier's, Jacksepticeye's, Tobuscus, any other YouTuber. If you've done the same message over and over again, say, "Oh, great video," or something like that, or no, isn't obviously great video is a good comment. I'm not saying that you shouldn't comment on people's videos saying that, but I mean that's a terrible example. I mean something more check out my channel. If you keep doing that on all of them, no matter if you just simply put it on there, you haven't done it for quite a while before, it'll instantly be marked as spam, and that will then be sent to their approved messages. They have to then approve that message to then be put on the comment section. And I often get a lot of them myself, but mainly they're basically I wouldn't even know what kind of ones they are. A lot of the time for me they're people kind of offering me partnerships all the time, saying, "Oh, I'm a so and so from so and so." That's the most common ones I get in the spam area. But yeah, so you gotta remember, do not spam, because think about it though, I mean, if you keep spamming on all these videos, and say for example, if they don't get marked as spam, and they just simply pop up a lot, as soon as someone's so tired of seeing you pop up all the time, they're gonna simply go on your videos and be I don't like this person, dislike. Obviously, as I said before, dislike is something you need to learn and accept, but at the same time, if you get a lot of them in a lot of videos, your audience will not enjoy that. If they click on a video and they see a certain amount of dislikes, they're gonna be this video's probably pretty naff, and their opinion's gonna be altered by that, if that makes sense. So you always need to keep that in mind, and do not spam, because of the fact that it will just completely affect your videos. Obviously, a lot of people do see that as the easiest way to gain subscribers. They'll go on to say Markiplier's, PewDiePie's, whatever, and they'll come in a comment section saying, "Oh well, check out my channel and subscribe. I'm nearly at 100 subscribers, blah blah blah." And that kind of stuff will obviously gain you attention. A lot of people will give you attention, but you will often get very negative attention, therefore leading to even more negative attention in the future. So just please don't spam, kids. It's not the best thing, and it's better to just simply be happy, just enjoying your stuff, But like seeing your stuff spread naturally is so much better than having to spam at all. Because I mean, you sometimes see, I have never done it myself, never actually properly spammed anyone. As in, like, gone a lot of YouTubers and just commented away or whatever, and said, oh, please check out my channel. I sort of, like, on the odd occasion, like, I only really comment, like, once in a blue moon, I have to admit, so it's a very rare occasion you'll ever see me comment on a video. But yeah, so, I mean, it's sort of, you just got to kind of remember that, I was gonna say, spamming could be just, spamming just, it could be a positive thing. Obviously, you could get, like, a new audience to your videos, but the same, a lot of the time, it'll be very bad, and a lot of negative things will happen to your channel just by that. Anyway, so move on to my third little tip or trick. Let me think. I had an idea for one. Oh, what was that? I can't remember. Oh, yeah. Make sure you explain exactly how often you're gonna upload. So, say for example, if you want to upload once a week, explain to your audience that you'll be uploading once a week. If you want to upload once a day, explain to your audience that you're gonna be uploading once a day. If you want to upload once a month, explain to your audience that you'll be uploading once a month. Make sure you explain this to your audience. Then they'll always know exactly when to come back to the channel altogether, and obviously know when to engage with you altogether, and know when to come back and like just be like, oh, this is the day in which this person's gonna upload stuff, and obviously they'll come back and like, boom, I'm gonna come watch that guy's video. So you know, they'll know when to come back to you. That's not really theirs for that point, obviously. Well, no, I completely forgot my other tips now. Got hiccups now. Okay, so tip number 4 would definitely be enjoy what you do. Make sure when you're doing your stuff, like, and you're doing your YouTube stuff, no matter what you do, whether you're making shorts, music videos, covers, gaming stuff, reviews, whether you're doing unboxings, whatever you're doing, make sure you bloody enjoy what you're doing. If you don't enjoy what you're doing, then don't bother doing it. You're potentially making like the start of a career out of this. And if you're really just sitting there like just doing stuff you really don't like for a living, then what's the point? You're really kind of just like destroying yourself. If that makes sense. There's no need. So make sure you really enjoy what you're doing on YouTube, because you probably wind up doing it for quite some time, especially if you kind of like really do enjoy it a lot, and then you start obviously getting a fan base, blah blah blah. So you'll be doing it quite a lot. So make sure you enjoy the stuff you do. Anyway, let's move on to my final point. So my final point is believe in yourself. No matter what people say, no matter what people do on your YouTube channel, just remember, always believe in yourself. You kind of got to accept criticism on that side as well, because believing in yourself is a huge part involved to criticism, if that makes sense. Accepting criticism, sorry. To accept criticism, like, and understand where you've gone wrong is a huge part in believing about yourself. Because if you think about it, when you get criticized for something, you're like, okay, this is what I've done wrong. But then you have to believe in yourself to do that thing again, but do it better that time, if that makes sense. Know for a fact that every time you're doing something, you should feel like you're doing the best you can. If you ever get told you're not, you should feel the need, like, okay, well, I believe myself to do better this time, so you do it again. You're like, boom, I will do it properly. And, obviously, maybe not every time you do a video badly, you do it again, but if you want to, you can. It's a very professional thing to do. But basically what I'm trying to say is, if you feel like you think you can do this stuff, if you think you can do this kind of stuff perfectly, then just go for it. If you think that, oh, I'm going to become one day the biggest, I'm going to become bigger than PewDiePie, then just say that to yourself, and like, fuck it, you're going to go for it. If you one day want to say, oh, I'm going to become the director of a Steven Spielberg movie for some strange reason, the director of a remake of a Steven Spielberg movie, that makes more sense. Yeah, so I mean, if you say yourself want to do that, and you want to do that for YouTube, you want to like direct some stuff on there, then do it. Go for it, and do it, all the stuff you want to do. Then just feel like yourself that you can do that kind of stuff, because one day it could come through, and one day you could feel like you finally achieved something. Not saying you guys have not achieved anything, but I'm saying it's in through YouTube altogether. Like one day, as you put all this effort in, you'll eventually one day feel like, oh, I've achieved this thing, yay. And yeah, so basically that's all on my kind of like hints and tips and tricks for you. But one final thing is, I kind of want to mention to you guys the money aspect of YouTube. Now, a lot of people obviously view YouTube as like this big place where a lot of big people go to like earn a lot of money, and you're not wrong. So obviously a lot of people, like, say for example Syndicate, PewDiePie obviously is completely minted now, starting his own network, which is crazy. Obviously other people as well, such as obviously Tobuscus, the whole top freaking hundreds, even like top 1,000 YouTubers on YouTube. All of them are pretty well minted off, and they live off of this YouTube money they make. And but remember how hard it was for them to get to that point. For example, Markiplier. Now, I believe, if I'm right, he is at, it's been a while since I've seen his channel, but I think he's on 2.5 million subscribers. I may be wrong, but I think it's 2.5. And so, I mean, it took him 3 years to get to 1 million. And then it took him about half a year to bump up, for some reason, the rest of the 1.5 million after that. 3.5 years to get to that point, okay? It's taken me 8 months to get to 450 subscribers, okay? Well, I'm going to give us 9 months possibly even now. It's 9 months. That's insane. I mean, if you think about it, though, I mean, he had... I've taken nearly a third of the time it took Markiplier to get to a million subscribers, and I've only reached... let me think... not 1%. It'd be 0.01% of his... It would even be less than that, I believe. It's 0.1% of his actual subscriber count after 3 years of doing YouTube. That is insane. I mean, think about... Obviously, I think Markiplier had a channel prior to that, but either way, he's been doing it for that long, and like that's how far he went. And obviously, 3 years down the line, I could be at a decent point. I could be at like maybe 100,000 subscribers, but I wouldn't be nowhere near the million subscribers he was at then. But you guys have to remember, the money aspect of this is such a good goal. It was a good goal for you two guys to reach. At one point, you could say, I want to make money off this, want to have this become a living. I'm not saying don't do it. If you feel that you can do it, then do it. But you got to remember, it takes such a long time to get to a point where this is actually like a supportive thing. Because obviously, as I said, like the Markiplier thing, it took him 3 years to get to the point of a million subscribers. It's taken me nearly a year to get... It'll probably, by the time this year ends, I'll hopefully be on about 600 subscribers, maybe 700 if I'm lucky. And, maybe more if I'm even lucky than that, but we'll see. But no, I mean, so it took me a year to get to, like, nearly, like, 700 subscribers. Just think about it, though. I mean, in a year, I imagine Markiplier was on so much more than that. Because if you think about it, like... It's so much harder to stand out in YouTube now. Like, it's so harder to become like that one YouTuber which is like, I want to come watch him, blah, blah, blah. Even like big YouTubers now, like that have like 500,000 subscribers, etc., are still blown the water by bigger YouTubers because of the fact that they don't watch their content. They don't watch the 500,000 subscriber content guy. They'd rather watch the 5 million subscriber content guy who like they're more interested in than when more like following for such a long time. And obviously, the only reason to subscribe to the 500,000 one was maybe because they're friends or something like that, and they sort of just feel like they need to be inclined to subscribe to the other one, but they'll just completely ignore their content which they upload as well. And just in general, like, they just got to remember that it's such a long period now. Because I mean, anyway, I kind of like avoided what I was actually trying to say there before that. I kind of got distracted by the money point. But basically, like, it took, as I said, by the end of this year, I could possibly like have maybe 700 odd subscribers. We'll see. I'm gonna call it 700. I mean. Like, I imagine, I imagine, so if I kind of, like, do some, like, calculations in my head, by the end of next year after that, I could be on about maybe 70,000 subscribers, possibly, this is, like, a give or take, and then maybe the year after that, possibly 250,000, I'd say. I'd say it's a possibility after that time I could be on 250,000 subscribers, possibly. I'm talking like maybe, so you know. But I mean, it's just due to the fact that it's so hard to stand out, that makes it so much harder to gain the subscribers, therefore gain the income. So I mean, you have to remember that these guys were around, the bigger guys now, which you aspire to be like, or aspire to be better than, possibly. They've been around a lot longer than we have on the YouTube game. And they were around a lot longer, like when there was a time when the YouTube game wasn't even a YouTube game. So obviously, that's just kind of like the annoyance about it, because they started a lot longer before us, when the game was a lot easier, if that makes sense. There's practically only 2 people playing, so now there's like millions upon millions and upon millions of people begging to grab that dice just to roll to see exactly how well they'll do on YouTube. So basically, guys, I don't mean to drown your spirits, but basically I'm just saying is just keep that spirit up and keep the feeling that you can do it. But you just need to have a really strong spirit to feel like you can do it. And obviously, I am trying my best with this YouTube stuff. I'm trying my best to do exactly what I can do. And hopefully, I'm not letting you guys down. You know, hopefully you are all enjoying the content, etc., etc. But yeah. Anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. It's been my kind of tips and tricks for YouTube. I hope you guys understand. Hopefully, I haven't put any downer moods on you guys. I haven't intended that at all. I've actually meant to be like more helping you guys like understand exactly how how these tips can like help you like understand YouTube, if it makes sense. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. I can like respond. I can say like do this, do that, blah 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 blah, and I'll try and help you guys out. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, some of you guys, I imagine, that subscribe to me could even be higher than I am. So maybe if you guys have any tips yourself, if you feel like there's anything that you should say I could do, or like any YouTubers in general who aspire to be YouTubers, and you can be like, hey, you guys should try this. And yeah, I don't know. All knowledge and advice, I guess would be a better way to put it. Knowledge and advice would be very, very helpful, and to everybody though. I mean, I want this to be like more of a group video, if that makes sense. So I mean, I don't want it to simply be my opinions the best. I want it to be like, you guys give your opinions. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them. So anyway, I'll blast from Ravidor once again, you guys. Beautiful as ever. Say la vie, hasta vista, and goodbye. Watch out!